It's Ronnie, and welcome to Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, Crystal's channel, which is Crystal's channel, and she does it once a year. And I used a Pinterest pin of this layout. It's by Terry and with 4 American Crafts, and she does have a YouTube channel, so I'll leave it down there below. And this is the photo I'm going to scrap of Casey and Josh, and I am going to use that diamond press die, but I cannot remember the name of it, and apparently I did not put it on there, front or back. And I'm adding my photo with the purple there, and then I pulled out, well, the background paper is 49 and Market Sunburst, and then that is Spectrum Gardenia. And so this is 2 layouts within 2 months that I am using purple. But you will see, well, you can't really tell they're at the airport, but you can see it behind them. If you zoom in, I had to zoom in to look. But they have lays on because they just arrived at Hawaii. And I guess they're the only two that I got a photo of with their lay on. So I thought I'd make a layout for their lays. And I was looking for something else to use, and I ran across the wreath and it hit me. I thought I could do the lay in my own style, and instead of making it completely circular, kind of make it a little bit ovally and not quite straight, like somebody just tossed it in a chair or something. And I did my title with the layers, and of course it has purple. It has one side of one paper. Well, that is Sunburst. And it has one side of one paper, and no, it's Spectrum Gardenia, because I remember getting it now. And so I put it on there, but I will decide to go ahead and adhere it down in just a second, because I want to go through the H, under the H, over the H. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I decided I needed to glue it down to figure it out. But my first plan was to leave it on the wax paper. So I'm just kind of putting them down easily there, but they stuck pretty good. They do have adhesive on the back. And, well, I think they have foam tape on the back, because I wanted it to rise up. Yeah, I wanted them to rise up so that I could tuck under easily. At least the H. I knew the H would land right thereabouts where I was wanting it. But I'm going to kind of go up a little to the right and then back to the left and down to the photo, and not have it, like I said, a complete circle. It's going to be a little wonky. And there was like sprays in the the sprays came from the Sunburst. It is hard keeping track. But yeah, they came from there, and so I'm cutting them apart so I'll have leaves and little branches to go in between and under the flowers. And the flowers, like I said, came from the Spectrum Gardenia. There was plenty of them. I had a couple of sheets, and even though I used some, yeah, I might have whittled it down, but I still have some. The flowers in the lay look not quite as purple as they did on the digital photo, but I did brighten it a little bit because, like I said, they were in an airport, and this airport seemed kind of dark, but it looked like a desk of some sort in the back and everything. And according to the date on the photo, it was the day they arrived there in Hawaii. So yeah, I'm sure they were at the airport. Let's see. Some of the flowers have foam tape under them and some don't. And some I'm going to have to add. I just kind of randomly guessed which ones to have and which not, because I wanted layers on here. And I did put foam tape under the picture for the same reason, because I knew I was going to tuck some stuff underneath it. And that one spray had so much big leaves that I really didn't want them, since I had all these lighter colored leaves. And so part of that got tucked up under there pretty good. The background paper, I tried 2 different other papers, maybe 3. It was a few, and I did not care for them. So then I tried white. I didn't care for it. And then I remembered this one and dug it out. And, you know, I liked the B side better. And this is the B side. The other side had uh, a big tree and some scenery, I believe. But it was busier than I usually like for my background. A plaid, I don't mind too much, or a small print. But yeah, the busier it gets, the less I want it. But I have been challenging myself this past probably year and a half to go ahead and use some of the A sides. And because I used to be really scared of them and they would sit for years in my stash. But at least I'm using them now. The big thing was it has so much printed on there already that I just wouldn't know where to put my stuff. Y'all know I like to make a scene a lot. And there would be scenes already on there. And I'd think, what am I going to do? I want to make that. So, yeah, but I had been looking at them and debating on whether I could use them and work some of my stuff in and going ahead and use them now. But B-sides will always remain my favorite. Put down below if A side or B side is your favorite. I like to see how many like the B sides as much as I do. When I went to cut off the branding strip, I thought, oh, I can put that down there at the bottom. I considered cutting off the top and just leaving it there, but then I thought, I like the dimension and the little bit of depth that it gives. So I cut it off and then added it back on. And oh, and there's, I don't want to tell tales ahead of time, but there's supposed to be a hop using branding strips once a month. And I just don't have enough branding strips to bother joining as I try to go ahead and use them instead of letting them pile up. And yeah, I can't, I might be able to do it 1 month or something. I might, if I could save them. But I didn't save this one. I do have a few. I might have probably altogether maybe less than 10. But yeah, I do have a few. Um, Still adding odds and ends. And I just added to my tray that I already had out for Sunburst. So there was seashells in there. And I thought about emptying the tray and starting, a new tray. But I thought, well, I might want to use them on my layout. And so, the tray gave me the idea. I didn't think of it to start with, but I thought I'll go ahead and fix this lay first and then decide if I can go ahead and add the um, seashells. And yes, I can add them, and I really like them on there, so I'm glad I was able to add them. Well, I don't guess starfish are actually seashells, but there are a couple of starfish on there. And I think I'm about done. Oh, I'm going to add some spray in a second. Oh, I forgot about these. Uh, it says vacay vibes. Well, that'll be really good because first day of vacation. So I am putting it on there. And I wanted to put it just a little bit higher, but I didn't quite like it there because it looked like just a small gap between there. So I tucked it to sit right on the L. And then the other one says fun times, I believe. And since it's green on green here, I don't know if that's why I can't read it or what, but my layout was drying because I am going to add some splatters and I didn't bring it in here. And I am curving the seashells a bit. I think I did it on each one. I don't think I did it on the starfish. I don't think. But I wanted them to have a little more dimension. And of course the flowers, a lot of them, I did that too. And that's it. There was a little teeny tiny sprig of green left over in that tray. I got to use it somewhere on there, so it made it there with the letter L. But I still think you can tell it's Aloha. And that's, my splatters are mowed lawn. And that's it. I am done with my layout. And yeah, my first layout. Even though, yeah, it's technically a wreath layout if you think about it. Oh, I think I might use up all the green. And y'all won't have to see layouts with so much green on them. I seem to be picking it. I mean, I've only done two, but I seem to be picking it pretty good. Uh, but yeah, don't the little seashell look good there? I really am glad they were laying in that tray and I was lazy. Worked for me. Yep, it is fun times. And that seashell, I wasn't quite sure where to put it, but I tucked it under the O because I thought I want one in with the title, and it looked like the easiest place to put it because it was kind of big compared to some of the others. And there's, like I said, all the flowers came from the Spectrum Gardenia, but there was like flowers that was on the, well, kind of like the ephemera lasers and then the flower lasers, and so they're both two different shades, but they work out really well together on the layout. And that's it. And I want to thank you all so very, very much for joining me while I created it. And hopefully there will be a playlist down there below. There's been a few problems with it, and as soon as it's straightened out, there will be a playlist down there. Have fun with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Bye.